What's going on, guys? It's KDR here, and today I am bringing you guys another Madden 16 career mode video on my channel for all of you. And we are back, and we are in week 3 with the legacy of Keenan Rose at quarterback. And this week we are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. If you stay tuned for the last episode, we did beat the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington Redskins in our first 2 games of the year. And we're coming off a hot 2-0 start, and we're going to try and continue the streak. So we're not going to waste any time. Let's jump straight into the video. So most of you who do keep up with the channel know that I recently did switch from the cornerback position to the quarterback position, actually. I used to be a cornerback on the Oakland Raiders, but I did now switch to the quarterback position, and now I am taking over for Nick Foles on the St. Louis Rams, and we're going to be trying to take down Big Ben and the Pittsburgh Steelers. As you can see, they started off the game with a 3-0 lead. There I'm finding my wide receiver right up the middle for about a 9-yard gain, and we are trying to move the ball down the field. And like I said recently, I am going to be trying to feed the ball to Todd Gurley a lot this year, but he's a work in progress. He's a rookie. We're going to have to get him into the groove. Now, the more that I think about it, this whole team is more of a work in progress, as we have a starting quarterback and running back who are both rookies. As you can see, I find another wide receiver up the middle for an easy gain right there. We're slowly but steadily marching down the field, and I'm trying, as I find Jared Cook right there, and he has some room to run. That's about a 17-yard gain for him, but as I said before, this team is a work in progress. We got to get Todd Gurley the ball more. We didn't really do that a lot our last game against Washington. And you can see I can scramble as well, getting out of the pocket, finding about a 9-yard gain on that play. Not too bad at all. My speed isn't terrible. I think it's in the 80s region, as we're going to get a pitch out to Todd Gurley. And he almost finds the end zone on that play, but gets pulled down at about the 2-yard line. And Trey Mason is in the game now. We get the easy pitch to him to the outside, and that is the first strike on the board for this St. Louis Rams team as we take the lead early on. So after us being able to strike on the board with a touchdown by Trey Mason, the Pittsburgh Steelers actually added on another field goal to the game. So we still have the lead, but now only by 1 point. And the defense so far this year has actually been doing pretty nice, I would say. They haven't really given up anything phenomenal. We gave up 19 points against the Seahawks and only 7 against the Redskins. So you can see, I think that's Kenny Britt fighting through the defenders and getting another first down, and that hits the 2-minute warning. So the clock is actually winding down pretty fast, and somehow, I don't know how Todd Gurley breaks that tackle, but he somehow managed to get out of it and get an extra yard or 2. It didn't really make that much of a difference, but it still was a pretty sick tackle break, and that I somehow find the wide receiver open on the streak right there, and we get down to about the 16-yard line. So we are actually marching the field very nice on this drive, and we find a little out route. I do not know who that is, actually. I think that's my backup tight end, but he pulls it down, gets to about the 5, and we get a rush up to the 1. And here is another strike for the St. Louis Rams, a fullback dive to give us a 8-point lead before the end of the first half. So after going into halftime with an 8-point lead and getting the ball back after the first drive, we thought we had the momentum, but right there I throw a pick. The first play we had the ball on offense, but luckily we somehow did not let them score. So the defense stepped up big right there as we find Todd Gurley on the outside at the flats, and we get about a 20-yard gain with him. Not bad at all, but I'm actually very impressed with my defense that they did not give up any points at all when they had that little run after that interception, because I'm pretty sure they were on like the 30-yard line, I'd say, somewhere near there, and somehow we stopped them, and I give my defense props to that. And we find another wide receiver, Kenny Britt, on the outside for about another 15-yard gain, and that puts us in the red zone. We're at about the 11-yard line right now. Hopefully we're going to be able to strike again, and we do. That is the 3rd touchdown of the game for the St. Louis Rams, and it gives us a 21-6 lead late in the 3rd quarter. So after scoring the 3rd touchdown, the defense makes another outstanding stop, and you can see right there, that pretty much explains that. I have no words for that interception. I do not know. I'm not blaming that on me. I'm not blaming that on my wide receiver. It was just a bad pass, but that did not matter in the end. They did strike on the board again, but we end up walking out of the home state with a victory 21-13 over the Pittsburgh Steelers to extend the winning streak to 3 games to start off the season. And this Rams team is really turning around from what they'd be expecting them to start off as in this season. So after beating the Pittsburgh Steelers at home, we now have to travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This will be another great game, especially because the streak is still on the line, and we're going to try and take it into another week, as we always will. So we're not going to waste any time. Let's jump into the next game. So you guys could probably tell that now we are into Breast Cancer Awareness Month on my career mode. Rocking out with the pink as Todd Gurley breaks it to the outside on the pitch for about a 15 or 17 yard gain. Not bad at all. I just absolutely love having Todd Gurley in the backfield, as I think we find him in the flats right there. Yeah, that was Todd Gurley. I just love having him as a huge threat in the backfield on my offense. He just helps out tremendously. As you can see, we find another wide receiver for about a 15-yard gain. So we are taking it to the Cardinals early on, and hopefully we're going to be able to strike right away and get ourselves to an early lead, as we find Todd Gurley along the outside again for about another 8-yard gain. That gets us to about the 5-yard line. And you can see here trying to strike early on, and we do. We find a wide receiver on the outside, and that gives the Rams an early 7-0 lead in Arizona, taking on the Cardinals. And you guys can tell right now the defense came up with another huge stop as we're handing it to Todd Gurley on 3rd and 1. He gets about a 10-yard gain on the play right there. He is just a huge threat in the backfield. I'm never going to stop saying that, as we find another tight end in the flats. It's either our tight end or our fullback. I'm not even sure, but he gets about a 15-yard gain there, which moves us up into field goal range. And you can see it's already 3rd and 6 right here. We try to get the first down, but he does not find enough room, and we're going to have to settle for a field goal. So after settling for that field goal, the Arizona Cardinals actually did strike on the board, making it a 10-7 game. And we're going to try and march down the field again, but I throw an easy interception to the Arizona Cardinals. That was completely my mistake. I did not read the field right, but luckily they did not score on that. But you guys can see in the bottom left-hand corner, there is a serious injury on this team. Jared Cook has an abdominal tear, which is... If you guys have been paying attention, Jared Cook is one of my main targets on my team. He is the tight end, the starting tight end, and he is a huge piece to this offense, and it's going to be absolutely terrible not playing with him. I'm not really going to say that it's going to be a struggle, because there's plenty of other wide receivers on this team that I can throw to, but he is a big piece of it, and I'm going to miss him, and hopefully we're going to get him back soon. As you can see, we're still marching down the field without him. It'd be a lot easier with him, but we are still going, and Todd Gurley somehow finds the strength to keep trucking for the first down on that play. And you can see it's 3rd down right here, and he drops an easy completion. I don't know, he might have got scared there, and we're settling for yet another field goal. As you can see, the score still remains the same as we jump ahead to the 3rd quarter, and we are already in a 3rd and 20 situation, and our offense somehow finds a way to convert on the massive 3rd down. So with that, we have tons of momentum as we find Todd Gurley in the flats yet again. He is acting as more of a wide receiver this game, I think, than a running back. He can go off in pretty much any place you put him. He is such a huge help to this offense. As we're rolling outside, I think about scrambling, but I throw it deep, and we find Bailey for his 2nd touchdown of the game, and that gives us an even bigger lead over the Cardinals. What a game we're having so far. So as usual, the defense was able to come up with yet another stand and hold the Cardinals to only 7 points, as we keep giving the ball to Todd Gurley as he keeps breaking into the outside. And it seems like the more we give him the ball on this pitch play, just the more and more yards he keeps racking up. I mean, they cannot slow him down, it seems like, on this play. So, I mean, if they're not going to stop him, I'm going to keep running it. And you can see we find Trey Mason here on a little slip screen. I'm telling you guys, it is amazing to have Todd Gurley and Trey Mason for that 1-2 punch of running backs, because it doesn't even matter who's in. Both of them will get a lot done when they are on that field. And you can see now we are going to the end of the game, and we pull off the win over the Cardinals 21-7 in St. Louis as the streak continues. And you guys can see in the next episode, we have a big matchup against the Green Bay Packers. So please make sure to stay tuned for the next episode, you guys. If you did enjoy, please make sure to smash that like button. And if you're new, subscribe to the channel for future Madden 16 videos. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Huge. We need a touchdown here if we want the win. And I see him in the back of the end zone. That is a touchdown. And we now have a 1-point lead over the Seahawks with 1:36 remaining. I connect with Britt in the back.